Look at all these extra cards. Holy cow. If I had to go through all the cards all the time, I'd go nuts. I'm glad I have them in my CRM system. Today, we're talking about what is GoHighLevel. Okay, that's what we're looking at. And I think what I want to do is jump in here and talk about what do people think of when they hear GHL or GoHighLevel or high level. You know, a lot of people think it's a sales system, which it is. A lot of people think it's a marketing automation platform, which it is. It competes with tools like ClickFunnels and MailChimp and HubSpot and Kartra, all those tools. It can do so much. So really, what is GoHighLevel? Well, at its core, and the real reason why everybody should use a tool like GoHighLevel, if not GoHighLevel, is it is a CRM. And by that means a client or customer, they both begin with C, client relationship management system. Okay, because it tracks and controls and helps you manage every relationship with every person that your business interacts with. And not even persons. It can interact with businesses as well. Because these days, you may be dealing with ABC Plumbing, but maybe Sarah at the front office is who you book the appointment with. And then you got some parts from Tom, and then you still couldn't fix your plumbing, so you got Fred to come out and fix it. But you're still dealing with ABC Plumbing the whole time. So those are three individuals at ABC Plumbing. So what is GHL? Well, GHL is the heart and soul and the brains of your business. Back in the day, the sales organizations, businesses always had a Rolodex. I've never personally used a Rolodex. It's one of those circular things that you have little pieces of paper that go in and it goes in a circle and it's A to Z. And you put everybody's name in there. And back when you had great salespeople, it was like your Rolodex was your gold mine because it was all the people that you interacted with, all the leads, the prospects, the clients. It was gold. Then, you know, of course, business cards. Everybody's got stacks of business cards. In this day and age, they're getting less and less, but still, business cards tell you a ton of information. You know, take this one. Christine, she's a senior business development manager at Sysgen. I met Christine at a chamber event about a year ago. We had a really good conversation, and we're actually talking about, and I've talked to her once or twice since, that we're maybe talking about doing some partnerships with some businesses. She's an amazing individual. She's inside my CRM. Another one is Bridget is the local restaurant here in Canmore, and Caitlin is one of their managers. And I was talking to them about doing some marketing for them. So again, she's in my CRM and I don't have to remember it, as well as if I have somebody else in my organization, which you do, you probably have 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 people, they can look up and they can go and contact Caitlin. It doesn't have to be you doing all the contacting. And AI can even do the contacting. And again, we're not going to get into the pros and cons of AI, but that's another thing. Another one here is Tom. Tom's with Tomas Hydronic Systems. He's also with his own heating and plumbing company. So he's got 2 businesses. I'm going to set the rest of these. Look at all these extra cards. Holy cow. If I had to go through all the cards all the time, I'd go nuts. I'm glad I have them in my CRM system. But Tom here, he runs 2 businesses. Both are probably doing about $1 million each. Great lead to have. Again, talk to him a little bit. He's going to definitely follow up. And we're going to maybe do something this winter in the slower season. So again, that's the idea with a CRM system. If these all just sit in my drawer, I lose out. I lose business. I don't get the business that I need. So that is what GHL is. GoHighLevel is the heart, the brains of your business to make sure that you keep in touch with Tom and Caitlin and Christine. You got to be able to keep in touch with all these people. And if you're flipping around cards, you can't do it. And if you hand the card to somebody else and they lose the card, what happens? That's why you have a CRM system. And I'm going to show you all about GHL from a top level performance, what it does. So we're going to jump into here right now and we're going to take a look. Now this is the GHL, what's inside it. I'm going to move that over there. So this is the main menu on the left over there, and this is where you're going to be doing most of your work. And I'm just showing you what the features are. I'm not going to get into the details of how to use them, but it's got a ton of features. It starts with this launch pad that gets you all connected. Shows, like I said, you can connect to your Google Business, your Facebook, you can generate leads, you can integrate WhatsApp, you can connect Stripe, you can do so much with this. But let's get beyond that and let's jump right over into contacts. Contacts are the place where it happens because this is the gold mine. This is where Tom and Christine and Caitlin and everybody is in here. And it shows you, of course, their name, their email, when you last had activity with them, all kinds of information. And if you open up somebody here, you can even see more. You can see things like their phone number, their date of birth, their contact source, the last message you had with them, and you can get into even more details like the general information, their business name, their address, all that kind of stuff. You can get into additional info, which you can customize any of these things. And you can get into even another set of forms and tags and automation. So all the information about every contact that your business deals with is tracked in here. And the nice thing is it is automatic. GHL has what's called an all-in-one system for contacts. So whether I send an email to Paul Richardson, or I send a text to Paul Richardson, or I send a Facebook message, or an Instagram message, or a WhatsApp message, it all tracks into this one inbox. So everything gets in there. Okay, so that is one of the huge advantages of GHL is the all-in-one inbox. It is a huge thing compared to jumping from your Gmail or your Outlook over to your phone for texting and then over to your WhatsApp app and then jumping into Facebook because they sent you a message there. It's all here and it all can be automated. So contacts, because it's a contact management system, CRM, client relationships means you're managing your contacts. Okay, so that's what this is. The other nice thing about this, if we jump back here, is we can create what are called smart lists by we can segment these. So we can use this funnel to choose, do we want all the people from, I'm by Calgary, everybody from Calgary versus Edmonton versus Saskatchewan. So we can segment them that way. We can segment them by what business they've done with us, if they've all bought a product. We can segment them by whether they're a customer or a prospect or just a lead, or maybe they're a supplier. So there's all kinds of ways we can segment them. So contacts is where it's happening. Contacts, this part of it is kind of like the heart in your business. It's like beating, and it's where everything comes in and everything goes out because everything runs around the contacts. The blood comes in, the blood comes out. The contacts come in and then the communication comes out. So the contacts is hugely important. Okay, like I said, we're not going to go into how things work. We're going showing you the features, the top level in this what is GoHighLevel video here. Next, we're going to jump back up to calendars. Now, calendars is an amazing part, and I don't have any calendars set up in this demo area that I got set up, but everybody knows what a calendar looks like. One of the things we can do with calendars, and calendars, why I like to jump into it is because time is money. So if you can be managing your time better, you can gain more money. So whether it's, sales meetings, because you're on the sales side, whether it's meetings your team needs to have, whether you are a massage therapist or a hairstylist and you have to put clients into certain slots during the day, whatever it is, the calendar function can work. You can do everything online automatically. Everybody's probably seen that you click a link to book into somebody's calendar and you get to open the calendar up And you get to look, okay, I want to come next Thursday. So you open it up and there we go. There's a 9 o'clock open and a 10 o'clock open and a 1:30 and a 2:45. So you choose where you want to book. You put in your name, your email. Bingo, bango, you have an appointment to get your hair done, to get a massage, that type of thing. Even restaurants. I just booked at Chuck's, had a great birthday for my beautiful Elena. And, I booked it on Tuesday. I opened up Chuck's calendar. It was with Open Table. I looked on Friday. They had a 7:30, a 7:45, an 8, and a 9. And we chose 8 o'clock. And I put my name and email. And we showed up and we got our table. It was that quick. We didn't have to wait. So calendars are vital for every business these days. And GHL's calendar functionality is so good and it's getting better every day. They have so many improvements. And again, we can do all kinds of service calendars like plumbers, electricians, hairstylists, massage therapy. We can even do restaurants. So we can do every calendar you need for us. Okay. We've covered contacts, we've covered calendars. Next, we're going to go over to opportunities. Now, this is one that a lot of businesses, if you're not, haven't been in sales directly, and even if you have, and if you haven't sort of worked in a sort of a pipeline idea where you have to sort of step by step and it takes you 2-3 months to get a sale, you may not have realized the value of what a marketing pipeline can do. But every business can use a marketing pipeline and it can be invaluable. Here's an example. Here's a real quick one. Hair. How often do you get your hair done? Me, my hair probably about every 2 months. In the summer, about every month, because I like to keep it short. And I got very, very little hair. So every 2 months, a hair person schedules me in, and 2 weeks before that, they give me a quick phone call, send me a text, send me an email, say, hey, you want to book next week to get your hair done? And I go, yep, great. And then I'm booked in. And the pipeline for that, which is part of the opportunities, is what tracks all that. So as soon as I get my hair done, my hairstylist, my barber says, when do you want to be back? And I say in about 2 months. So they put me in that I'm a client, but 2 weeks from the day of my next appointment, I move ahead in the pipeline, and then I become an opportunity that's getting close. And then the day of, I become an actual client again. So it's moving me forward, that type of thing. So that's a simple, easy way to understand how you can move people in a pipeline. And then you can also that way look and say, oh, what's next week happening? How many people do I got moving in to become clients next week that I'm going to actually cut their hair next week? Oh, I have a full schedule. So I better cut back on, booking new people in, or I got an empty schedule. So I better drum up some marketing or put out a Facebook ad. So it's controlling the opportunities. It's making sure that you keep your pipeline full and you get lots of opportunities in there. And it's tracking this whole process. That is what makes it so powerful, is it tracks the process all the way through. And again, with a larger business, whether it's somebody that builds decks, and right now it's almost November, so not too many people are going to be building decks. But I'm sure if Jim, that's my deck builder, meets a couple people at a hockey game and they go, oh, you build decks, I'd really like to get a deck built, and probably not in July, but I'd probably get it done in June. And then another guy hears him talking and he's like, well, I'll get mine done in May. And then a third guy pipes in, well, I'll get mine done in August. You put all those into the pipeline and you track your opportunities. And then you look them up and you go and book your lumber and materials, and you know how big the job is, and you know how much money is coming in next summer because you've tracked all that. So this is a huge part of running an effective and a sustainable business, is using the opportunities functionality in GHL. Huge. My God, it blows people's minds once they start to use it if they never have. Okay. Next, we're going into payments. Payments are super, basically, it's getting money in. Money. Okay? It is about getting that money in. It's really replacing Shopify, PayPal. You can connect to your Stripe account. You can connect to whoever else you have a merchant account with, and you can set up a full shopping cart. You can basically use it for, if you're a hairstylist, the different haircuts you have. If you're a plumber, you can just put in jobs on the go that you're going to do an estimate and throw it in there. You can do anything with this. You can set up a full, online catalog if you want. It'll do everything. It is truly one of the best and improving shopping cart options out there, connected directly to the nerve center, the heart, the contacts. That's the biggest difference. So many other times you are taking payments and then it's gone. Poof. You're a plumber, you did a job, you got a payment, you walk away. 2 weeks later, you go, who was that I did that job for? I wonder if they need something else done, because I redid their one bathroom, but maybe their other bathroom would like to get done. But I forgot to get their information and I didn't put it into my system because I just had a way to get payments, but it wasn't connected to the contact who automatically gets connected because you collected payment, and it wasn't put into the opportunities, which I just talked about. And then, of course, once that opportunity comes up, that's connected to the calendars. So everything, can you start to see how everything starts to work together? That we have the contact, we can book them into a job, a haircut, a massage, a meal. Then we can put them into the pipeline and know that they'll come back in a month or 2 or 3. And then we can do all the payments that way. And we can easily, if it's just a one-off job, once we do the payments, we've collected their information, and now they're a contact, and we can say thank you to them, and we can, start getting reviews. So let's jump right down to reputation. Reviews. Reviews these days with Google is the lifeblood of any service business. You need reviews. If you want to be found online, you need reviews. If you want to be chosen, you need reviews. I've had this conversation with 100 people that I usually go and say, what's something you've bought in the last 6 months for more than $100? And they'll name a computer. They'll maybe name, oh yeah, I went out for an anniversary meal, it cost a couple $100. Maybe they bought a car. Maybe they got a plumbing work done. Maybe they found a new massage therapist. And then the next question is, okay, when you were choosing what to buy, how did you decide? And it was I Googled it and looked at the reviews. Or, I asked and said, what made you decide on one versus another? What the reviews said, how many reviews they had. That is so important. So reputation basically handles all your reviews. It can bring them in. It can help you reply. It can go ask for reviews. So you get a new client in, you're a barber, you cut their hair, you take payment, you have their information now, they walk out the door, your system says, hey Jim, really great that I cut your hair, hope to see you again in 2 months. But in the meantime, if you like the cut, can you please give us a review? Here's the link. Go to Google. He's sitting in his car, finishing his coffee, and he goes, yeah, this guy was great. We had a great conversation. I have a great haircut. And he goes and puts his review on within 10 minutes of getting a haircut. That can happen in any business. It works. It's the best way to do it. Okay. Talking about that meal I had the other day. It was at Chuck's Steakhouse. Beautiful, wonderful. I can't say enough how good Chuck's Steakhouse is in Banff. If you have not been there, it's a world-class restaurant. You have to go. It was so good. Anyway, beautiful views as well. It's on the second floor, looks out. It was evening. You couldn't see the mountains too much, but you could kind of. There was a little hazy, but it was just enough that you could see we were in the mountains. It was beautiful out. Anyway, we had this great meal. I was super happy, but they only sent me an email for the review, and they sent it the next afternoon. Well, actually, it wasn't the next afternoon. It showed up a day later. I almost missed it in my inbox. And the only reason I did go to get the review and replied to it and did a review was because it was so great. Okay? But on just about anything that you enjoy, if you get that notice right away, you're going to right away go, yeah, this is a great hamburger. I'll say, yep, just had lunch, had a great hamburger and a beer. Or this is a great meal like we had. Or I just bought this car, I love it. You want to get those out fast, and you want to have that automatic, and you want it to be sent by text, first of all, and follow up by email. And then, and this is what Chuck's didn't do, is I haven't heard from them. I have not heard from them. I wrote them a glowing review, and I have not heard a word from them since. They're a great restaurant, but they need GHL, because if they had my system, GHL, I would have gotten an automatic reply saying, oh, thank you for the review. I'm glad you took the time. Very formal, because we don't know how good the review is. We just thank them. But then we would have used AI to analyze the review, and it would have said, wow, this is an amazing review. And that would have triggered a little switch inside of GHL. And then the owner, manager, or chef at Chuck's would have got a text saying, you just got a glowing review. You should follow up personally. And that person would just, all they'd have to do is click into the GHL on my name, and they could read the review, and they could go, thank you so much, Jack and Elena. We have had a great meal with you. Hopefully you come back again, and we really appreciate you sent the review. And that's all they'd have to do. But everything would be automatic around it. It's all on their phone. It's all in. The next thing is the mobile app. Everything can be run inside the mobile app. There's a mobile app that does all of this for you. So the mobile app would have just buzzed, and they would have got, oh, glowing review. Please, you should reply to this person. And they would have spent 20 seconds, and I would have got a customized reply from whoever they'd assigned it to. The GM, the chef, the waiter that we had, whoever. So I would have got an automated one right away. And then within a day, I would have got a personalized one. And you know what? I would have told even more people about it. So that's what you can do with this system, with the mobile app, with the reviews. And how is that all done? Automation. Automation is the muscles of this GHL GoHighLevel system. It's all about the automation. Everything can be done and customized. And we have a bunch of templates, we call them snapshots, that have different automations. So just like I talked about that review system that would have given me a quick follow-up by email, because I sent it by email, and then it would have then AI analyzed the review and then sent a text to the chef and then buzzed him on his phone. That's all ready to go. So if you need that, we just give it to you. It just goes in your system, and we turn on the switch, and we customize, of course, your information, your people, and it's ready to go. So that's the power of automations. That's another thing you can do. With every contact, you can automate the functionality with that contact. Okay, let's jump over to AI agents. I've already been talking about AI and how good it can do and what it can do. My theory on AI for most small businesses, need a quick drink here. My theory on AI is it's new, it's powerful, start slow, but get ready to ramp up fast, okay? I think the first thing you can do is you can start handling incoming communication. Easiest one is put a chatbot on your website. So anybody on your website, if they need to ask you something, they can click on it and feed it FAQs. Write down every frequently asked question, or use AI to make up a list of 50, 100, 200 FAQs about everything that people ask. Whether if you're a plumber, they go, do you fix sinks? Yes. Do you fix toilets? Yes. Do you do complete bathroom renovations? No. But I will do the plumbing on it, and I have a guy that can work on the, the hardware and all that stuff. All those questions can be put in there, and all that can be answered. And the easiest, most logical place where people just love to have them is a chatbot on your website. Next is You can do the same in social media. Your Facebook, when somebody asks a question on Facebook Messenger, on Instagram, it can automatically answer it exactly the same way. It's the same system in here. It's the same FAQs. It's the same knowledge base. We put it all together. But then we can ramp up with even more things. Like I said, AI can analyze feedback on reviews. AI can analyze your emails and decide if you need to answer them right away or they can wait till afternoon. AI is the new business brain, and you need to feed it all your knowledge so it's customized to you. If you've had a bad experience, it's because they were using a generic AI. ChatGPT, if you open it up, it's generic. It has some information about your business, but only that little bit that's out on the web. It doesn't have all the stuff inside your head and inside all the documents in your business. You want to put all that stuff in, and you can get AI to do it. It's not that hard. Okay, so there's so many ways we can use AI. Okay, I got a few more minutes. I want to get this done quick. We've covered AI agents. We've covered the heart and soul in contacts, calendars, where the money is, opportunities, where it tracks the money, payments, where it brings in the money, reputation, where it makes sure that you are a trusted and amazing business, the automation that does it all for you. Well, I talked about websites. Well, of course, we have sites here. We have sites, we have funnels, we have stores, so your shopping cart can go in there. You can do webinars, you can do blogs, you can have a WordPress site if that's what you have. We have client portals where your clients can interact. We have forms and surveys and quizzes and that chat widget that I talked about. And we have built-in QR codes. QR codes are amazing. More people need to use them. I just heard the other day that kids these days are just basically using QR codes just like on their phone just to connect on dates or whatever else. It's like they don't even write down phone numbers anymore. They just swipe a QR code and they have their, digits. It's just the way of the future. So sites is just sort of like the hands and feet where, I talked about the heart and I talked about the muscles. Well, the site is your face, and then your hands are forms, and your quizzes or your other form. Like, it's just all that stuff that just interacts with everybody around your business. So important. Okay, we got just a couple more things that I want to look at. Next, we're going to look at marketing. Marketing is all that marketing related information and stuff that you do to get the word out about your business. So you can see here, we have social planner right at the top. So this interacts with all of your socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, all can be connected to there. We can put in email templates that go out to different times, all this in the email. You can put snippets, are basically like email templates, but they're for text. So if you want to send a text and say, thanks for coming in, it was great that we, washed your car for you and changed your oil. That's the snippet that you put in there. And after a client gets an oil change and washes their car, they automatically, AI looks at it, knows what's happened. The automations look after it, and the snippet goes out to it. We got countdown timers, we got trigger links, we got affiliate manager, we get all your brand information in there, and we even have ad manager so we can run ads with your socials. So powerful marketing platform available to you. Okay, then a couple of things that you may or may not use, and we're going to jump in, and this is the last one, is inside here, if you want to, and you want to take things to the next level online, is we have already talked about the client portal. And I think every customer, even a hair salon, massage therapist, they can log in, change their dates that they're coming, put their information in, request different things. So the client portal is where any client can go in and put information and schedule a new appointment and everything else. And once they're logged in, they're logged in. So it makes it easy for them. Okay, so that's there. But we have courses. I think every business should be adding an online course and an online community. Basically, it's a way to serve your clients better. And it's going to be the way of the future, is that people want to learn more about what you're doing and do some of it themselves. And that's why you have courses, or they just want to be able to take more advantage of it. And what it is if you can the low-hanging fruit, the stuff that you charge $20, $30 for, if you can show them how to do it, but then you can charge $200, $300, or $2,000, $3,000, or $20,000, $30,000, that's the advantage of courses. Get the easy stuff in a course, get the hard stuff in your pocket, the big money in your pocket. And the community is just the after service, the building that community, that type of thing. Credentials is about certifications, things like that. And then we also have a whole marketplace area about communities. So this GHL, what is it? Everybody asks, what is it? It is the heart, the soul, the muscles, the hands, the feet, everything about your business. It is a client relationship management system that will take your business to the next level. If you want to see it more in depth than this high level overview, just give me a comment, get in touch, and we can go over it in depth. Take advantage of these kind of tools for your business now.